G'day, welcome back. I'm Baz and this is Sharpen. Today I'm going to sharpen, I've got a lot of things to sharpen including chisels, a nice Japanese set, but that's in another video. Today I'm sharpening, or in this video I'm sharpening 3 butcher knives. 2 boning knives and a big, what's that, some sort of a steak knife. They're all Victorinox, so they shouldn't take very long. This one's interesting. It's got a bit of a large bevel already on there. Right, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out. Should I follow it or should I make my own bevel? Let's see what that bevel was set at. This was done by another sharpener. It looks quite big to me, but we'll see. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's pop it on the thing. Well, in order to guess the angle, we have to find out what it is. So, put some black marker on. And that's pretty much it. Lift it up a bit. Yep. Needs to come down a little bit. And yep, that's about roughly it. So that was the first one, that was the second one, that's the one in the middle. So it'll be interesting to see what angle that is. It looks quite acute. Small. Let's have a look here. Oh, that's a surprise. $13 or $14. So let's do it at $13 or $14 because why not? So the black stone is still performing very good. I've got it set to, I think I was doing a chisel earlier this morning as a demonstration to a carpenter who brought me all his chisels. So if you want to see me sharpening chisels, hang around. Not in this video, but in the next one. Let's have a look here. Not exactly what I was expecting. But it might still work. Might have been a different style of grinding. But regardless, this one's going to come out at 14. Which is, or 13, which is probably a little bit too radical for this knife. Yeah, it is. Well, Might have to make it a little bit coarse. I'm going to try the 80 grit. See if we can hurry this up a little bit. Now, as it is, I'm not really sure. This doesn't roughen up as quickly and easily as the SG wheel. But it does roughen up a bit. Because the Tormek grinds differently to the other machines, you can see what's happening here. Get ready, this is going to be a little bit radical. The tip is starting up there, but then it's doing the Tormek thing, so I don't know what the other grinder was doing here, but then as we come along to the heel, then it's really climbing up the top of that, up into the knife. So we're going to have to persist and just follow this line, see how it comes out. Well, let's try this side now. And what's this side doing? Oh, this side's behaving entirely differently. So it wasn't a super even grind, but it will be when I'm finished with it. Luckily these Victorinox are not very difficult knives to grind, they're quite soft. They've got they're the same metal as a Wusthof, but I think they're tempered a bit differently. These are softer than a Wusthof. This one is behaving much better. On this side now, you can see we've got a reasonable tip. It's a bit weird through the belly, but the back side is nice, and that may even start to come over and help us out with this side here, which needs a bit of extra knife come off. So it could have been a little bit crooked, and the Tormek being very even, it's going to show up the previous grind. The trick to the belly is to go slow as you go around the corner. Common mistake is to go really fast around that corner, but you have to slow down because only a minimum amount of knife is contacting the wheel, and the wheel needs enough time to do its job on every piece that it's contacting. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So Look, we're getting there. That's nice. Okay, so as you come around the corner here, so I'll give you, okay, we'll start from the beginning. Let's just turn that light over here so we can see. Okay. As we're grinding a nice flat area there, the wheel, let's say my 3 fingers of the wheel, so the knife is going to start contacting, here, let's take a point. So it's going to start contacting here and run all the way along the wheel until it exits here, right? Whereas this here, it's going to only contact the wheel because it's turning around a corner. It's only going to contact the wheel in small sections, right? Before it's gone off the wheel. And so you need to slow down here to make sure that the whole knife gets an even grind all the way around. I probably didn't explain that very well, but you know, you may get a rough idea of what I'm talking about. We've got a burr everywhere now. Still got a little bit more to go on the back here. So that's starting to widen up a bit now as I go slower around that belly, almost catching. So this is a nice wide tip. Almost catching the rest of that. Not that that's our gauge, because I don't know if that was sharpened correctly. And then at the back it still needs more work. Haven't quite got to the apex there. This side is looking nice and even. So yeah, it could have been a bit crooked, so that's why as I'm grinding it straight, it's sort of catching up to itself. I'm pushing quite hard. Oh, nearly there. It's a pretty big bevel. It's probably going to be really, really sharp. So this is how sharp the blackstone is. Even though it was only one pass, you see we're nearly there on this one. Right, a couple of small, where is it? It's right there. See the silvering right at the top? Right, that's where it hasn't quite met the apex there. There's no burr. The rest of it's got a good thick burr. And now that corner, that belly is now nice and full width. Same with this side. And of course we're full width here. So the problem with doing big fat bevels like this is that it's not always easy to get it super even. So you got to watch that. I'm going to have to rely on my engineering eye to see how even the bevels are. This is a little bit art as well as technical skill. I think I have a burr everywhere, but now I want to make it a bit even. I think that this side is a bit bigger than that side, so I'm going to give it a couple of more here because we did quite a lot of runs initially on this side. So now we need to do a couple of extra on this side to catch up. See if maybe that one single run. Oh, I got a facet. I hate facets. I'll show you what I mean. Look at the heel. See that? Hate. Hopefully facets are not a protected group, because I hate them. So now let's give it one more run. Did I get it? Got it. Show you. See? All gone. Now. See, so now this side looks a little bit wider than this side, so I might give it another balance here. And we should be done. Alright, now, last couple of passes I want to do on the fine. And although this doesn't really have as much effect as it did on the SG wheel, I still think it's got a little bit of an effect. Smooth it out with my dowel. It feels very smooth now. That looks nice. Very happy with that. Beautiful. What do you reckon? It's a much finer grain, that's for sure. Birds chirping. Does that look fairly even? Looks a little bit bigger on this side. Hard to tell, and I don't think it really matters that much, to be honest. Good strong burr. Let's get that burr off. And see if she slices tally-ho. A little bit more on the tip. And we're done. It's my neighbours having a barbecue around the back. I don't know if you can hear them. Having a jolly old time. So that's that done. Now, let's get those micro burrs out. This is a kangaroo tail. Some of the commenters who are new to the channel, welcome, thought this was another stone, but it's not. It's leather kangaroo tail. Oh, see, leather kangaroo tail, and that's the back of the tail. Two separate tails. I've only got 3 baz knives left, so if you want one, you better hurry up. Contact me via email, tell me what country you're in, and I'll give you the subscriber price. Alright, let's see if that'll cut. Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect. Hope you'll be happy at that. Let's test it on some magazine. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, let's get onto these boning knives. Shouldn't take very long. And thank you to all of you who have been providing me feedback as to what sort of movies you like. Apparently you don't mind just watching me work, so here I am working. Nothing really special to show you. It just is what it is. Now I'm going to do these at 15, which is pretty cheeky for a boning knife. Oh, let me just measure my wheel, just make sure I've got that sorted. So remember when I bought this wheel, it was a 246, and now it's at 239. Not bad. So it seems to be lasting not double the length of the normal SG. I mean, I lost about 4 or 5 mil trimming it down and dressing it. And so, you know, you take that into account, but I've done a lot of knives since then. I'm happy with it anyway, and I'm happy with it because it's so sharp and I can do one pass, well, not one pass, but one operation and done. And what I mean by that is I smooth it down to the 320, and because it's so sharp, it'll just do the whole job at 320, which is about 1,000 grit on the wheel. This is a brand new customer. He's a butcher. I don't often get butchers. I tried approaching a few of them and they said, what do you think, we don't know how to sharpen our own knives? Get out of here. They were a bit rude. I'm not exaggerating, that was pretty much the tone. And so I thought, okay, well they need to be approached in a different way. Plus I think I'm a little bit expensive for butchers. But I'll do them a deal, especially if we could do it regularly. I have one really good butcher, my butcher, and he swaps me meat for sharpening. Beautiful porterhouse, or New York strip, as some of you up there like to call it. so soft and tender and sweet, it's almost like dessert. Almost like dessert. You know when you're driving in traffic and you go through a set of lights, you think, was that green? I can't even remember if it was green or red. I don't know. Did I measure this angle? See, I didn't. I had a feeling. Let me know if you picked up on that. And the reason I thought that is because I thought this was a little bit of a narrow bevel. Here, I'll show you. See, that's a very small bevel for a 30 degrees, especially on a fat boning knife. And I forgot to do my measuring. No harm. Just lean it over. I got caught up measuring the wheel. Big difference. Let me show you. So what was going on there, by the look of the gap, from memory I'm guessing, is that it was probably around about maybe 20 degrees. Right, and this is what it should look like. See? Big difference. Before idiocy, after idiocy. Hey, it's warts and all in this workshop. Got a burr. Found my old fidget spinner. I bought this spinner because it lasts longer than nearly all other spinners. Who remembers fidget spinners? Plus it was made out of metal, brass. Got a beautiful bearing inside. See how long it goes for. Beautiful. Bit of green. So yeah, 15 degrees per side is probably a little bit acute for a boning knife, but we'll see what he says. If he complains, I'll change the angle for him for free, and I'll tell him that. It'll be sharp as F. Beautiful. Still going? Still going. See how sharp it is. Needs more work. Let's check it out. Oh, nice entry. Look at that. Beautiful. These kangaroo tails are fantastic. Now, I'm starting to sell quite a lot of them to you guys, thank you. But the big jumbos are nearly sold out. So we've got medium ones, but let me show you a medium. This is a medium. It's still very big. Beautiful ridges, look at that. Sadly, these are only available to Australians because the government's very strict on selling native species stuff overseas. They don't want it to be over commercialized. So that's that one done. One more to go. Spinner's still spinning. So I wonder if we can make that a thing. Let me see. I'm going to spin up the next one and see if we can finish it before the spinner finishes. It's a little bit grungy. Get a little bit of 4/0 steel wool. Give it a clean. Careful not to cut yourself. Beautiful. Alright, so starting from the beginning. Now I might do this one at a different angle, maybe 35, so 17 per side, 34, and that way he's got two choices of knives. So lift it up a little bit. He's got super sharp, but maybe fragile against the bones compared to proper. Still spinning. Oh, I've got burr. That's done. So for those who say that the Tormek is a very slow machine, I don't know, was that slow? Still spinning, still spinning. Test it. Oh, still a bit rough. Still spinning. Will I make it? Beautiful. Oh, still spinning. Slowing down now though. I'll test it over here first. A little bit. Yup. Still spinning, technically. And that stopped. Never mind. Beautiful. Maybe a little bit more. I'll bring it over. Nice. A little bit. Actually, it's a little bit catchy. I might just try and refine it a little bit. Because, you know, I'm not here selling lettuces. Better. I don't know if you can hear that, but my neighbours are going, having a good time. All right, so that's it. 3 butcher knives, all done and sharpened. Took me a little bit longer because of this one. This one took a while, but it needed rejigging. So I'm happy with that. You happy with that? I am. Thanks for watching. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the button. And you'll get lots more of this sort of thing. This was a one-take video. Hopefully with a bit of editing and zooming in and out, you saw all of it. But, well, let's test them. We didn't test them on the paper. Nice. There you go. That's better. See you in the next movie. Coming up, chisels and these fantastic Japanese knives, which I've never heard of before. Check these out. Have you ever heard of these knives before? Kaufalon. Katana series VG1. Have you ever heard? I've never heard of VG1. I've heard of VG10. The Baz knives are made of VG10. But the VG1, I've heard of VG Max. Never heard of VG1. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, they're beautiful knives. Clad with Damascus. Nice. Wave pattern. Beautiful. They all need to sharpen up. There's a lot of them. There's about 10 of them over there. So I'll be doing that in the next 2 videos. Oh, and a buck. So, hang around, there's more on the way. Fidget. See you later.